So I guess when you're vetting this league, as big as the beast is, you just sit down, grab the mic,
I do as I'm told, fellas. Do as I'm told. How you guys doing?
Well,
How you
Greg,
feeling,
thanks
first
for
of all?
joining us.
Last I saw you at the end of last year, you looked like you'd been through something tough. And did you refresh for the USA tryouts?
Yeah. I had from my knee, I have a microfracture surgery, so the knee the bones get very bruised very quickly. So there were a lot of games where it just felt like it was shot.
Listening in to the 32nd pick.
Daniel Ipe, midfielder, Harvard.
Well, Greg, as we look at your draft, and we talked to Rob Pennell earlier, what did you think was something you guys maybe not needed to address necessarily just in the draft, but as you look to this season, which I know is a rebound year for you guys?
Close defense. Drew Adams is the best goalie on the planet, and he was getting dunked on all summer, and he didn't deserve it, and we need to do better. So what we lost when Nikki and Brian went to Chesapeake, we tried to gain with some mental toughness, some physical toughness, and some energy down there at the close defense position. And I think we got that, and we were pretty pumped about it. So, obviously we have a stockpile of long stick minis. So I told Joe, as nicely as possible, if you select any midfielders in this draft, then I'm going to flip a table when I get to the draft tonight. And I'm glad that threat worked. So I'm really pumped about who we got. We also got Buck in the supplemental draft. So with Hartzell with the trade, our close defense is very, very short up now, and I think that was our only weakness, and I think we got it taken care of.
Interesting. Ned Crotty and Pennell. Two guys can handle the ball pretty well.
Yeah, and you got Mock, who's a very good two-handed attackman. So you got, I know a lot of people were scratching heads when we got Crotty, but I think the beauty about it is Crotty can also play midfield, which he does for Team USA a lot. And it looks like, we're going to have all these guys in preseason for once, which is going to be pretty cool, which you never get in the MLL. We only have Dave Earle's the only person who's not going to be with us in training camp, so we're going to get a chance to build some chemistry, which is pretty unique and cool.
Well, that word came up when we spoke with Rob. He said that the chemistry just wasn't there. Rob came in as a rookie, a few games into the season, was immediately handed the reins for good reason, but it clearly had an effect. When you look at this season, the motivation factor, and I know you're a guy that leads this team, how much are you going to use what happened last year, the disappointment of it, as a driving force to change it in 2014?
Well, I was in this seat last year when we were talking about everything at the draft last year, and we looked like we were sitting pretty.
Yeah.
And, I think you need to take reality into your hand and say, okay, we had a lot of Chiefs but no Indians. And I think, the problem is we had a lot of guys who needed the rock, but you don't always need, you don't need 8 stars down there. You need guys who are going to fill roles. And I think last year, it's motivation. But if motivation, losing, giving up a 10-goal lead in the semifinals isn't going to get you over the hump, motivation isn't enough. We need to hit the books, and we need to be diligent about how we approach the game from a more intelligent standpoint. And I think that's what we're going to do this year.
There's, I think, 3 face-off men that have been selected. Fowler, Levings, the kid out of Stevenson. What can they expect coming into this league? We know that the volume is going to be much more, but beyond that?
It is a whole different world in the MLL.
It's a Wild West.
How many times have we seen face-off guys come into this league who are highly touted, and then you never see them again? It's hard to crack this league because you are 1 8-for-25 performance away from never being seen again. So, they have to do their due diligence as far as studying it up, because now the college game is so much different with the rule changes that it's going to take a little time for them to adapt. I hope for their sakes that they're on teams with understandable GMs and knowledgeable coaches that don't just pull the plug on them after they have a tough game. It's real hard to come in this league as a face-off guy.
Let's go through this real quick. Just give me like a one-liner on each of these face-off guys that you go against. Ortolani from Rochester. We used to be with Boston.
Tenacious.
Would you fight him in the MMA ring?
Absolutely not.
Mike Poppleton was a rookie last year, I believe. Did pretty well.
Does really well. He's feisty and he's a technician.
Adam Rand, Chesapeake.
Strong as heck.
Really? Legs or upper body?
Everything.
Really?
I mean, he gets low.
Dive bomber, yeah.
He makes me work harder than just about anybody else.
Matt Delente.
Matt Delente is smart, and he knows exactly who he's going against. He can adapt just like a lot of guys can.
Chris Eck.
Chris Eck is, I mean, it's him and me, man. I love going against Chris. I think he's the best in the business.
I love his hesitation when he goes down, so he's always the second guy down.
Always.
It drives me nuts.
Always.
The refs. A-Train.
A-Train is an animal. And what people don't realize is as big as he is, he's also the nicest guy ever off the field. But he's awesome.
The battle you guys staged in the All-Star game, I thought was one of the most sportsmanlike things I've ever seen, where you guys wouldn't budge. You guys were going hard. And you took like 35 face-offs.
And we were both both dying.
Like you could have had a gentleman's agreement to be like, you know what? But you guys went at it. That was something to see.
Because you know what? You can say all the things you want. You can act however you want. But at the end of the day, we're in this league for a reason. That's why we don't go and do the other stuff, because we want to play against the best, so it's great.
Jeff Snyder, Charlotte.
Non-existent. He won't be here this summer. We'll see him in July. He'll show up the last 2 weeks of the season.
And then Brendan Fowler out of Duke. You probably faced off against him in
I think Brendan's got a great future in this league. I think he's got an awesome future in this league. I think it's going to be a little.
What's he do well, you think?
He's got quick hands, but he's going to have to adapt. He's going to have to change his footwork a little bit. He's going to have to change some things, and he's going to have to get better against the pole. And he will. He's too good of an athlete to. I think he reminds me a lot of myself, where he's a little bit raw when I was coming out of college, but he's an athletic enough where if he gets his head in it, he can absolutely do well in this league.
Why are we seeing more guys with the knee down?
You're seeing Long Island guys come out because there's somebody out there who teaches one knee down only, and to cheat a lot. And so you're seeing a lot of one knee down guys. The problem is when you're on a knee, you got to get off the knee.
Yeah.
Now, when you're in college, you're going to see more guys get away from it because they have to be completely off the plastic and they have to be further from the ball. In the pro game, you can still choke up. So you're seeing guys go on a knee, like for me.
I'm up the plastic in the pro game.
Yeah. I'm taller for a face-off guy. That's why I go down on a knee. You'll see me go back and forth. You've seen me. I stand up a lot too, depending on my competition.
So that lowers your hips. That gets you
lower center of gravity. I'm not a prototypical size face-off guy. That's why.
Greg, thanks so much. It's
always a pleasure,
fun to
fellas.
catch up. Good luck
Love
this
the
year.
knowledge.
Always
Love
a
the knowledge.
pleasure.
Look good, man.
All right, guys.